Live from historic Riggs Field on the campus of Clemson University in Clemson, South Carolina, ESPN presents ACC women's soccer action tonight. Number 3 Virginia at number 7 Clemson. And hi everybody, and welcome into historic Riggs Field. I'm Don Munson along with William Quackenbush, and Quack here tonight. Got a great battle inside the ACC. 2 top 10 teams, both of them coming off wins.
Yes, we do, Don. 2 teams that don't give up a whole bunch of goals, and that was evident their last times out. Virginia with a 1-0 win over Duke with a nifty goal that provided the winning margin. And Virginia, a team that probably is not going to give Clemson a lot of chances tonight. They're very good defensively. And then on the other side, you've got Clemson, a 2-0 victory over Wake Forest in its last match, including this insurance goal. Beautiful ball sent into the box. I expect to see a lot of that from the Tigers here tonight. These teams, again, not going to allow a whole lot of chances to the opposition. So we should expect both teams to try to capitalize on whatever opportunities they get.
Well, as we talk about a couple of players on both squads, first of all, Alexa Schaffer for Virginia.
Absolutely. Schaffer, leading goal scorer for this team, the leading scorer. She is just flat out getting it done in ACC play. Tigers really going to have to spend a lot of time focused in on her here tonight because she's a catalyst for the Cavaliers offensively.
And then for Clemson, it's a young freshman back for them, one Samantha Staub.
Yeah, Staub, she's one that she has a very unique skill, Don. She turns throw-ins into set pieces. She can get the ball into the box, one of very few players in collegiate soccer that can do that. She's a game changer for the Tigers. As just a freshman, they put a lot on her shoulders, especially when they get in that attacking third.
Well, it's the ACC. That means we have ranked teams going at one another. We'll come back, starting lineups and more when we continue after this. In Clemson, South Carolina, Don Munson, William Quackenbush along with you. A little early kick. They got started a little early. Virginia handles the opening kick, comes right down the field and deflects one off of Kaylin Sheridan in net for Clemson. So a set piece right away on a corner. Clemson able to clear it back out, but then Virginia looking to just pop it right back in the box. And Clemson will watch that one roll over the end line. And we'll get a goal kick. So that'll allow us to set our starting lineups. First of all, for the visiting Cavaliers, Quack 8-1-1, ranked number 3 in the country. You can see their lineup. Obviously, Schaffer, who we featured right there in the middle of things. Here's the way that Clemson will come at you. And you got to keep an eye. Katrina Atanda, leading scorer on this club. Page record right there in the middle. Kaylin Sheridan in net, one of the better goaltenders that there is in the country. As Clemson will push it into the Virginia end, but they'll clear it back to their netminder. Here's Morgan Stearns. Virginia traveling blue uniforms, Clemson in the home whites.
Don, we'll see this throughout action today, that Virginia going to be very content to possess the ball. They just want to keep it out of Clemson's possession as long as possible, rather. Clemson has to kind of maintain patience a little bit because these long, lumbering possessions for the Cavaliers, they can wear on you as a team.
Well, both teams have had success against teams in the top 10. Clemson 2-1. Virginia 2-1-1. They sent it down into the deep corner. Clemson's defense will come over, collapse. The cross deflected out. Virginia able to keep it in play. Record will shoot it up the near side, getting on the foot of Weston. And right back to Record. So both these teams actually will look to possess a little bit. Clemson, tendency maybe to be a little quicker on the pass. As Oregon defeated far side, one of the Biord twins. Atanda feeds it back over to Emily Biord. And Biord looking for the cross into the box. And here it comes. And the ball headed, but not on frame. As Record can't direct it on frame. That'll go over the inline and be a goal kick here for Virginia. Head coach of Virginia, Steve Swanson, as you take a look at him there, sitting right in the middle of the screen. 16 years as head coach of the Virginia program, and an excellent record, obviously, there in Charlottesville. And there is Eddie Redwanski for the Clemson Tigers. There in the shorts. Fifth year rebuilding this Clemson program. Took them to the NCAAs last year. And has them ranked in the top 10 this year. Backside Staub will just touch it back to Sheridan. And then Sheridan will look here near sideline and find Claire Wagner. Wagner missed a couple of games earlier this year because of concussion protocol. Staub sends it down the wing, and a nice pass there to Emily Byorth. Byorth looking for the cross in the box. Here it is. Ball knocked loose. It's still loose. Weston trying to feed it over to Record. Can't get it there. Well, that was an opportunity there for Clemson. Ball coming loose just a couple of yards outside the 6.
And down right there, Clemson with a great opportunity. You see the keeper go up and a little bit of contact, but when the keeper's down, you got to try to turn that ball the opposite direction. That's an opportunity missed right there for the Tigers. You got to get a shot on frame right there.
You see their shots early on. 2-1 here inside the first 4.5 minutes.
Good, you do good.
Virginia's lone loss this year has been to Notre Dame. Clemson beat Notre Dame here in Clemson earlier this year, 1-0. And wants to trip up there, but no call. They play it on. Virginia will control it backside and shoot it down the far wing. Staub there to redirect it back towards midfield. But Virginia will come up with it and push it into the Clemson zone, and here they try to come on the attack. Boy, there's what I thought would have drawn a whistle. Horgan with a push that got away with it, and here's Atanda.
They're letting them play in the midfield, Don. That's probably a good sign for the Tigers here early on. Virginia going to have to adjust to that, and I believe they will. This Cavalier squad is very versatile in the way they can attack you.
Ship it to the wing, looking to get it to Gabby Byorth, one of the Byorth twins. That ball will be knocked out of bounds. Go back and look here, a little physicality already in this game. Horgan just coming over and almost a little rugby-esque there. They let him play, though. We'll get a corner kick here. No, this will be the throw-in. Here comes Staub, and we talked about her in the open. This becomes like a set piece now, because she can throw that ball deep into the box. So good throw, looking for the header. It bounces and goes up and over and on top of the net. William and I have done a couple of games here at Clemson where we've seen actually Clemson score off of those long throw-ins, and usually it comes off of the bounce.
That's definitely something you have to be aware of, and keeper always cognizant of that. Not just the play off someone's head or maybe a redirection, but right off the ground, because Staub does such a good job of putting that ball in a dangerous spot all the time.
Ball headed out of bounds. That'll go off for Virginia. So throw in here coming for Clemson. Push in the middle of the field looking for Abby Jones. Collapsed upon there by the Cavaliers, and here now they try to turn it into attack. Wagner backside, will get to it. And Byorth will look upfield and find Atanda. Atanda draws the defense and will shoot it back to Sheridan. So Clemson backside will control. Here's a long lead pass looking for Record. That's going to be onside if she can get to it. Trying to battle through the defense, can't get there. Good backside defense there by the Cavaliers. And here's Wagner with it. Wagner can't push it through. And Virginia now here with an opportunity to turn and get some numbers going their way. Schaffer. Defeated backside, however. And McNabb will send it here on the near wing. Onto the foot of Iridano. Iridano, the long lead pass. That'll be an offside call.
We've seen Virginia try to strike here early in possessions, and that's not exactly their MO, what we were told beforehand and what we know about this team. They're very methodical in the way they try to attack you, but they're really trying to push the ball against this Clemson team. trying to get as many opportunities as possible. First 30 seconds of this match, Virginia got a shot on frame.
Clemson controls it backside. Stop with that big left foot. Trying to put it forward and get it Abby Jones. Jones, top of the box, fires a shot that'll sail high. Well, an opportunity there, and that was actually deflected, I believe, off of a Cavalier defender. And we'll get a corner kick here for Clemson. But an excellent opportunity again there. And again, the long feed from Staub. Headed forward, and Jones trying to measure it. That ball deflected here. You get a look from goal cam. So a corner coming here for Clemson. Horgan, the left footer, to take it. Shoots it out front. Right back over to Horgan, chipped into the box. Latanda trying to settle it, couldn't get a foot on it. Here's Byward putting it back in. Latanda trying to settle it outside the box. Turns, fires a left-footed shot that is deflected away. And Virginia will control backside and clear it to midfield.
Pretty good group defending there by the Cavaliers. Tigers had a couple of chances there to at least turn and get a shot on goal, but credit to the Cavaliers once again. They didn't panic when the ball was in the air. Made a nice play on the ball eventually and got it cleared out.
Push through onto the foot of Weston. Weston cuts back middle of the field, draws some defense. Horgan trying to send it into the deep corner, but that'll be out of bounds. That should be a throw-in the deep corner here for Virginia. See Megan Reed, a sophomore out of California. That'll handle the throw-in. Cleared midfield, it's settled there. No, cannot be controlled by Clemson. Out of bounds it goes, so a throw in near the midfield stripe here for Virginia. A little over 10 minutes gone by. McNabb will settle it. Here it across far side to Sinet. Sinet will go with the cross. Looking here on the wing and able to get it there to the foot of Iordanic. Iordanic will push it on the net. That ball will go off the post as it beats Sheridan off to her left. And that ball went off the post, far right side. He's a center into the box. Try to redirect it, deflect it out. Jones with Clemson comes away with it. So Virginia really the first big threat in this game. And the post was kind to the homestanding Tigers.
Well, how close was that? I mean, that one almost snuck by everybody. Sheridan took a poor angle on it just because I think she expected it to be redirected. That was a very dangerous play. Cavaliers doing a nice job getting the ball into dangerous spots.
And here's a ball top of the box. Stay with it. Trying to redirect it so you can get a right-footed shot. No, and Latanda comes from behind, steps in the middle of the pass. Still inside the box, and a shot that hits the opposite post. So twice here in the last 60 seconds, Virginia has hit both posts. Still a 0-0 game. Well, that was a rocket off of the foot of Schaffer. Virginia will control it here at midfield. So two big threats by Virginia. They come up empty. Here's a steal record trying to lean in, and we get a whistle and a foul call here. And we'll go against Virginia. All right, let's go back and take a look at both of these shots, William, that go off the post. One kind of a dribbler, the other one a rocket. There's the first one. Now watch this one. Schaffer there just, you can't hit the post more solid than she did.
No, and she tried to take that near side angle that's very difficult to hit and almost snuck it right by Sheridan. You got to feel for Sheridan a little bit. That first ball, she's expecting a redirection at some point. Never came.
Here's a ball that is deep into the box, and that will go off of Virginia. And we'll get a corner kick here coming for Clemson.
Tigers need to take advantage of this, Don, because it's clear to me after 13 and a half minutes of play here in the first half. When the ball's live, Virginia's been the better team, much better at controlling and getting opportunities. Clemson's going to have to take advantage of one of these set pieces if they're going to get a goal here, at least the way this thing's been going so far.
So Wagner will handle the corner here. Shoot it in, and then now they'll look for the cross from Wagner. Chipped in, good ball here, headed on net, redirected towards. There's a touch that doesn't go in. A couple of looks, I believe that was record both. That was right there in front of it. So now both teams with huge threats here early on. Real nice header, and then watch Record just trying to redirect that thing in. Cannot sneak it by Stearns. There's another loose ball inside the box to be deflected out, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul call here against Clemson.
Foul call on the Tigers.
Well, no lack of action here in the first 14 and a half minutes of this thing.
For a couple teams who have only allowed 14 goals combined in action this year, both these keepers have been very active for 15 minutes of play. This has been outstanding action so far.
Here's Virginia again pushing it into the Clemson half. Coming to the forward third. Chip it out of the wing. Attack the top corner now. They'll push it to the in line, and that ball will go off of Clemson. We'll get a set piece here for Virginia. Take a look there at the goalie for the Tigers, Kaylin Sheridan.
Virginia corner taken by Alexa Schaefer.
Yeah, looks like Schaffer will go over and take the corner here. She'll just simply touch it out. Virginia player falls, whistle, and a foul call. The Virginia player stays down. Let's hope that she's all right. She is down and holding on to her left arm. And she's almost holding that like you hate to think anything like when she fell that something might have dislocated. Oh yeah, you can see her holding up that arm right away. And she is down and in some pain.
And it did not look good right
Seen
there.
that happen.
Exactly
you
right.
see that happen too often where you come down and you get that front arm extended and you come down with full body weight. Never good. Athletic training staff will get out there quickly, and she has not moved. That arm still fully extended. You just got to wonder if that shoulder popped out. You're being obviously very careful. And I've not picked up a number as of yet. And they're going to roll her over and get her sitting up. So it looks like it's Brittany Ratcliffe, a senior from Williamstown, New Jersey. You can see they're going to have her put some pressure on. Just testing out that shoulder. And you wonder, okay, if this is a problem that she's had previous, because sometimes you know how you'll get athletes that'll have those shoulders, they'll pop out, but then they're able to just go back, pop them right back in, and it's no big thing.
It looks like that's what she's trying to do right now.
Yep.
2 goals, 3 assists on the season. This is one of several players that have been very vital to this Virginia team offensively. This is a team in Virginia. You know, Clemson, 20 goals in 11 matches. You're thinking, a couple of goals a match, no big deal. This is a Virginia team that, until its last 2, where it's kind of sputtered to just 1 goal, 8 consecutive times scored multiple goals. And so it's a team that can get up on you in a hurry. A lot of different avenues. We've seen that already. These teams already with 5 shots apiece in this match. And certainly, if you're Virginia, you want to be as full strength as possible because the actions have been fast and furious. You wonder about conditioning if you start to lose a player or two that might be able to provide you at least a few minutes of relief.
And Tigers back-to-back wins in the last 2. A 2-1 win in double overtime at Miami. Beat Wake Forest here on this field their last time out by a score of 2-0. That was be a week ago tomorrow. Radcliffe came out and then would just wait on the sideline and comes right back in to the lineup. So it looks like she's going to be all right as Sheridan clears one towards midfield. Fought for, and Abby Jones comes away with it for Clemson. Shoots it out on the wing to Horgan. Horgan trying to cross it towards a Tonda. Tonda able to stop it. Ball knocked out. Jones with it. Horgan leans in and again. Little body bump there. Creates space. Here's Byorth. Byorth trying to send it in. But deflected right back to Byorth, and then out front. She'll look and find Sprouse. Now Gabby Byorth here near wing. One-on-one, cuts it back. Top of the box, Sprouse picked up defensively. Good control here. Byorth outside will fire a one-hopper. Stern's able to make the play on.
Really good defending there by Virginia. Clemson, Eddie Rawanski probably wanted a little bit better look at it than that, but when you swing the ball side to side a time or two, and that's about the best you get, you go for it. Not a bad look by Byorth there. Obviously a good save, but that's a win for the Virginia defense, keeping that ball out of the 18 as much as possible.
Got a shot from about 35 yards out there. See shots on bug, and it's been active here early on. Already 11 shots total taken in this game. Clemson pushing it backside. So Sheridan wants to foot it forward, put the big right foot into it. Sends it. Virginia wins that ball in the air, sends it towards midfield. Record collides, and they're going to call Record for being reckless, and the foul there. She fouled Giordano.
I don't know if that would have been my first call, but I think that's right. I think that's a good one. Live, at least from our vantage point, it looked like Record took the brunt of that blow, rather. After the replay, I think the official got it right there.
And here comes Virginia once again on the attack. Send it to the wing. Good lead pass there. Going to look for the cross. And just whipped it. And that wasn't pretty at all. Latsko. Watch Latsko here. She's getting ready to cross it and make that one last touch. She touches it with the offset foot. The foot that's setting. Touch the ball over the inline.
First rule of athletics, Don. Eye on the ball.
It looked like Charlie Brown and Lucy, except Lucy wasn't there. We get a foul called here against Virginia. Push off. Let's see how Clemson decides to play this. They're going to bring Sheridan forward. Use that big right foot maybe to see if they can get something here towards the top of the penalty box. Take a look there at Eddie Radwanski. Line drive kick. Gets by a Tonda. Virginia comes out, going to make a run. Get some numbers going their way. Push it forward. And here comes Sheridan. The one-time it towards midfield. Record able to head it in the direction of Weston, but it'll be touched backside all the way to Stern. Nice header forward by Giordano, but nobody there, but Virginia still going to control it. Shoot it up the wing. That'll be an offside call.
Offside call the Cavaliers.
Let's go. Got caught on the offside. Stop. We'll turn it backside to Sheridan. Sheridan trying to shoot it forward. Poor kick. Spouse takes the deflection and gives it over to Horgan. Stealing Byorth, back heels it to Horgan. And that'll just be sent out of bounds, far sideline, and a throw in here for Clemson.
You know, Don, it looks like Clemson's really trying to take advantage of Virginia's tendency to flow. They're catching the defense on the strong side of the field, trying to go backside a lot.
Here's Staub with a long send in. Abby Jones got up and trying to hit it back. Couldn't get it done and stays down. Actually, it was Record, excuse me. Record, the one that is down.
Right there, Virginia's defense it kind of has a tendency to cluster. It's been doing that several times, and you can tell the Tigers seeing that and trying to adjust, figure out where to attack. Right there, they kind of clustered in the middle and left a lot of space there in the 18. That was a very good ball in.
Let's see if we can pick up what happened to Record here. Abby Jones with a header, and Record just ran right into the goalie.
Well, incidental contact.
Continue trying to clear the ball up that far side and get the deflection back off the foot of Byorth. Midfield, they'll control it. McNabb shoots it forward. Lasko picked by Wagner. And here's Atanda with it. Wayne Horgan centers it across, looking for Record. Record body off, and now comes Stern to kick it on one hop.
That was a really good job that time by McNabb defensively. Almost like a moving screen in basketball. She shielded the keeper there to be able to scoop up the ball. Very nicely done in retreat by the defense.
Ty Torres touches it off onto the foot of Iridanu. Tackle from behind. Wagner shoots it to Record. Virginia, though, will control. Brandon back onto the foot. Iridanu sent off to the far wing. In the box, going to look for the cross, take it down to the sideline. Here's a cross. Loose ball inside the box, shot deflected, and Sheridan able to dive on it. And that ball was loose for a long time inside Clemson's 18.
A lot of time spent there in the 18, and really credit to Clemson's defense that time, just getting limbs out there, trying to deflect anything and everything. And Sheridan, once again, she's having kind of a rough time in all aspects of play here in the first few minutes. It's extended to a work-in goal. She's had some tough plays to make back there.
Been helped by the post twice on either side. And the ball sent out of bounds off Clemson, and a throw in at midfield. Midfield in the Clemson half. Matanda comes up with it. Shoot it forward looking for Weston. But headed over by McNabb. Brandon now push far side. Again, here's another opportunity for Virginia. Again, they look for the cross. Sailed in to the side of the net. Goal kick here coming for Clemson. 20 minutes left here in this first half. Very entertaining first 25. The far side there, Megan Reed.
Defending there by Horgan. Totally shut down the angle on the cross. Nothing that Reed could do there except try to bend the ball around, and couldn't keep it in bounds.
Clearing it here near side. Ball gets by Wagner. Now it's a foot race. And that ball will be off of Staub. Quick throw in for Virginia. They keep the pressure on. And we've got a stoppage of action. Ooh. And a big gash there on Emily. So that, look at that. Catch her right in the middle, right on the side of the eye, the left eye there. And Coach Steve Swanson. Ooh, collision of heads, I think.
Took it right to the temple.
Yep. Now this game has been physical so far.
Borderline chippy. And not a lot of pushing and shoving afterwards, but you can see it kind of devolving into that. We're still fairly early in this one. There have been a lot of big contact plays, especially in the midfield. I can't imagine that's not going to lead to some frustration spilling over at some point.
Brianna Westrup, freshman from Corona Del Mar, California, will check in. Take a look at this Virginia lineup. Texas, Virginia, Colorado, California, New Jersey, Michigan, Florida, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Georgia, all represented on their roster. They go all over hill and dale to find people to fill out their roster. Clemson just pushed. Clemson serves the ball back. This normally happens after injury. We'll get it back though. Gabby Bayor trying to push it midfield. Poor pass there. Here's Sprouse with it. Back to Emily Bayor. Sprouse. Gabby Bayor from the near sideline. After Wagner, she'll look all the way back to net. Sheridan will settle it there. Foot it forward. In the direction of Horgan. Heads it forward on nice little lead there to Bayor. Bayor trying to center it across. Here's a Tonda outside the shot, and it's just wide to the right. Boy, a Tonda off of the one hop. Trying to time that up. The leading scorer for Clemson, and she almost struck that well. Just off to the right-hand side.
That was almost incredibly fortunate there for Clemson. You look this ball through, it looks like the touch gives Atana a better look at it as it went straight up in the air, almost softened the blow a little bit off the ground and off the one hop, as you mentioned. Atana with all kinds of space there to the left of the keeper, but could not find the net.
Midfield, Virginia controls and pushes it into the Clemson half, and here come the Cavaliers on the attack. Slow it down, push it backside. Both of these teams kind of like to organize backside and get their attacks going from there.
They absolutely do, and both teams have been patient at times. They really like the pace of this game, the flow of this game, because both teams are kind of just doing what's there. You know, they're not forcing a whole lot. They're able to take their time and be patient, but then to pounce when the opportunity presents itself.
Brandon, middle of the field. Stafford go right back to Brandon, and then here near side to Giordano. Brandon found the ball again, pushed this backside. And Clemson just kind of flowing back and forth. They watch Virginia possess the ball. Now push it into the forward third. Errant pass taken by Sprouse. Clemson will send it backside. Sheridan out of net looking to one-time it away, and Atanda. Only so much you can do with that, with as much as on that kick. Tried to head it over, but headed it out of bounds. So a throw in here for Virginia. Deflected away. Cavaliers come away with it, push it through, but once again, here is Emily Bayor, and she's able to deflect it away off of Latsko there. So a throw in the deep corner here for Clemson. And Staub will come over to take this throw. Take advantage of her long throws. Throw up the sideline. Virginia will control. Tonda trying to left foot it forward. And up in the stands it goes, far side. There at Atonda. Atonda, 4 goals, a couple of assists so far in the season.
Boy, Tiger in double figures scoring.
Giordano gets it up on the wing. And that ball will be touched and go out of bounds, and will be off of Virginia. They say went off of the foot of Torres. See Ty Torres there battling in his hip. Pressure from behind by Clemson. That ball will go out of bounds off Clemson.
It's not a great performance so far by Sheridan. That's yet another one. You want to clear that thing to the point that you at least give your team a chance to win a ball in the midfield.
And we'll get a sub here for Virginia. Hannah Kerner will check in. A young freshman from Upper Saddle River, New Jersey. The girl from Saddle River.
Is that a reference I'm supposed to get? No. No?
There was a man from Snowy River that was a movie.
You always give me these references that I'm supposed to get in air quotes. So I always wonder.
To keep you on your toes.
That's my default position. That's an old movie.
Yes, it is. Once again, Virginia pushing in the front third. Schaffer sends it off on the wing. Reed makes the move into the box. Takes it outside. Here's a shot that is deflected away. Weston will settle it, try to push it to the wing. Poor pass there and taken by Virginia. McNabb now. Room to operate. Near wing. Giordano. Cross. Top of the box. Cleared by Clemson. Giordano will chase it down here near side. Nice little move there to keep it alive. Crosses it in the box. That apparently is onside. And a shot and a goal. No, the flag is up. Flag is up. That is offside.
Well, late call. It did look like offside, and everybody from Clemson stopped playing. That was essentially a penalty kick that time. There was a little resistance as Clemson was giving defensively. That's a great ball through and just a little bit impatient on that run. Excellent job by the Cavaliers once again setting it up.
Well, actually, you could see there that Lasco definitely offside.
Yes.
You could see the flag was up, but you just didn't hear whistle. After live action, ball cleared out of bounds by Virginia. Their half of things, and the sub will come in here for Clemson. Alana Hockenhole will check in. Jenna Weston will check out. Sprouse deflects it. Hockenhole can't control. Ball cleared to midfield where Staub heads it back in the Virginia half. Sprouse will push it far wing to Horgan.
Both these teams with all kinds of speed on the edges. You watch them attack the wing. It is impressive the pressure that they can put on the defense. Just about everybody they put out there, even the subs so far, really pushing the pace offensively.
Wagner wants it to go out of bounds. Long throw in. Gabby Bayor can't get through the defense. Got tripped up. No whistle. No need for a whistle there. Ball cleared by Virginia. Throw in for Clemson. We'll get it back to Sheridan. Wagner will just push it right back to Sheridan. Right-footed forward. Good strike on the wing here. Foot race. Looks like Virginia's going to win that. Clear it out of bounds. McNabb didn't panic there. Live for another day. She just pushed it out of bounds. Throw in here for Clemson.
Let's go, come on.
Like Staub's going to come and take this. And this will probably be a deep throw into the box.
This is where Clemson gets opportunities a lot of teams don't get.
Long throw in that is headed out. Staub will watch it go out of bounds, and she'll do it all over again. And subs will check in. Or will they?
Training for the Tigers, Tina Shakes replaces Shannon Horgan.
For Clemson.
And into the Cavaliers is Megan
And
Cox.
Horgan will come out. And coming in for Virginia is Megan Cox, junior from Springfield, Virginia.
It's really a good time in case of Clemson to get Shakes in the game. A little bit taller, a little bit longer body to be able to get a touch on the ball in the air.
Throw in, Shakes able to head it back. Clear. Staub. Watch it hit, try to settle it. Get down to the end line. That ball is touched and out of bounds off Virginia. So a corner kick here coming. Good defensive play there, turned in by Brittany Ratliff.
Right there, you saw they did play it to Shakes, and then the ball's batted out of there, and then good job by Staub not panicking. Freshman unhindered that time. Really unflappable in the game. She's been very impressive for this Clemson team in the way she's handled critical situations.
On our way towards 9 minutes left here in this first half, and a very entertaining first half. Whistle, foul call on Clemson.
Foul call to the Tigers.
A little shove in the back that time, I think. Easy call there for the official.
Nice job by Stearns to quickly get it back in play, and Virginia with a run here. Lead pass deflected away by Orth and out of bounds. So a throw in far side here for Virginia.
The play wasn't quite as impressive, but it did basically the same thing that Sheridan's long ball did for Clemson. Just flipping the field, giving Virginia a chance in the attacking third with the ball out of bounds.
We ran back towards Sheridan, and Sheridan breaks on it. Well, that was almost misplayed there by Clemson. Here's a cross. Wagner puts a foot on it, deflects it away, and Staub clears it out. Far side will go off of Virginia and out of bounds, and a throw in for Clemson. A couple of unnerving moments here inside the box for Clemson. See the cross there, deflected out. Staub able to clear it forward. Back to live action we come. Shakes, turns with it at midfield, sends it down the wing. Westlake won't be able to chase that down. Nobody will. Go over the end line. And a sub in for Virginia. Courtney Peterson, freshman from Canton, Michigan, checks into the Virginia lineup. Looks like that. Morgan Ruther checking out. Midfield. Virginia will control, and they'll turn it, have some numbers. Long lead pushed through. Comes all the way to Sheridan. They were just too strong. Good idea.
Virginia not slow to react to circumstance. They're very good at finding an opening and attacking it right away. There is no hesitation from this Cavaliers bunch.
Talked about the outside speed for both of these teams. Both of them have it on the corners. Here come the Cavs once again, back on the attack. Shakes from behind, trying to put some pressure on. He did a nice job of just possessing the ball. Continue to work. Now they'll push it into the box. Going to look for the cross here. Opportunity headed away. Cleared forward. Hockenhold. Check from behind. Taken away. Reed pushing it forward. Reed will get it right back. And push it backside. McNabb looks far side. Lester will push it right back to McNabb. Here's Reed with it. Reed pushing it. Far wing. That's a good long possession here by Virginia. Continue to push it side to side and just looking for that one opening pass. And here's the ball that is going to be pushed through and over the end line and a goal kick. But that was a good possession there by Virginia.
Very good possession, Don, and that's exactly what they want to do. They just want to keep the ball away from Clemson, work it side to side, and make a play when they can. Find a crease, find a gap, find a seam, catch somebody napping if they get an opportunity. Here you see ball cleared in, once again, cross into the box and cleared out by the Tigers. Again, Virginia just kind of, a lot of times those possessions, you just turn around and boom, they're right on the edge of the 18 and you barely know what hit you.
Virginia able to carry one through the defense, push it forward. This is onside. Look at one-on-one, push it into the 18. Now back out front. Brandon chips it here to the near sideline, but nobody there, and out of bounds it goes. So throw in for Clemson. Gabby Byworth to throw it in. Virginia keeps it inbounds and sends it backside. McNabb. Westbrook. Into Clemson territory. Pushes it forward. Turner off on the wing. Look for the cross. Got Byworth up in the air. Into the box. Atonda, though, is there, and she'll left-footed away. Be pushed all the way backside. Where McNabb will control. And here comes Virginia on the attack. 3:20 left here in this first half. Nothing. A couple of shots off of the post for Virginia here in this first half have been the big threats. Clemson's had a couple of threats. One on a shot by Atonda. That sailed wide to the right. And another one on a loose ball out front of the 6. Well, they couldn't turn and get anything on frame.
They've had their chances. No question about it.
Both teams.
Yes. I think those two off the posts really going to come back to haunt Virginia. That was a portion of the game that they really were controlling the pace. They were controlling possession. They had Clemson right where they wanted them, could not capitalize. And Clemson has since regrouped and is holding its own now here in the latter stages of the first half.
Hockenhold trying to head it forward, keep it alive. Here's Shakes with it. Shakes trying to fire a long outside shot, but that'll sail wide to the left. And a goal kick here coming for Virginia with 2:15 left.
I don't think you love that one, Don. That's from 30 yards out, minimum. I'm not sure she had a great angle on it either.
Stearns will left-foot it out with 1:50 and counting here first half. Headed right back in. Virginia, though, will control their own zone. Turn it over. Here's Sprouse with it. Addie Jones, far side, on the wing, draws the defense towards her. Feeds it off to Emily Byworth. And shoot it backside to Staub.
Yeah, go back.
Staub will just turn it, push it back to Sheridan. Sheridan with plenty of room to operate. Right-footed forward, gets off on the wing. Settled there by Jones. Jones chipping it into the box, but too long. She was looking for Shakes or Atonda there, trying to break on that, but much too much on that. Stearns will roll it out. 60 seconds left here in this first half. Headed by Orr, pushes it backside to Sheridan. I think both coaches here at halftime going to feel fairly satisfied. I think that if you're Steve Swanson, maybe you're thinking, gosh, the post was unkind to us twice. Maybe one of those could have gotten in. There have been also a couple of threats for Clemson as Sheridan comes out of net. 20 seconds left here in this first half. And the ball will go out of bounds. It'll be a throw in here for Virginia.
I think you're right about that. You feel good about yourself going into the half. You know you've had chances. Disappointing you didn't convert them. Eddie Radwanski, you got to hope if you're a Clemson fan, a supporter here tonight, that the Tigers going to create more opportunities in half number 2.
Well, a 0-0 game here at halftime. We'll take our halftime break. Come back, second half action here from Clemson. Well, back here in Clemson, South Carolina, along with William Quackenbush, I am Don Munson. Glad to have you dialed our way. 0-0 game here at halftime between these two nationally ranked, both of them in the top 10. As you can see, Virginia 3, Clemson number 7. Physical first half, William.
No question about it. Started very early on in things, and really Clemson brought the wood early, and then Virginia kind of had to take a few minutes to get into the flow of things. But here you see, I mean, there is absolutely no shortage of bodies flying out here tonight in this one. Both teams getting into the act, as we said, and even a little bit of carnage as well. As you see there, a shot to the temple, and some prisoners taken there.
Yeah, that one drew blood. That was there early on so Emily Sonnet had to check out. Missed opportunities, though, 2 off of the post for Virginia.
Yeah, and that kind of started things going. Virginia with a lot of opportunities early in this one. Here you see another opportunity across low, and just a little bit of a deflection. It took a shot opportunity away. Sheridan with a nice recovery there. But then Clemson had its chances as well. Here you see a high ball in. The ball's batted around, and really no opportunity to turn it and get a shot with the keeper down. That's something that Eddie Radwanski's squad's really going to look back on with some regret. And then all of a sudden the keeper goes down. There again, a shot from very deep. And I'll tell you what, both of these teams, the action is flying, bodies going everywhere. 15 shots combined for these teams. It is shocking to me that we still have a 0-0 game.
So far, like you said, we've seen scoring opportunities both sides. Probably a few more, obviously, for Virginia than Clemson in that first half. But still, we talked about it as we were going to the halftime break. I think both of these coaches got to feel good about it.
Yeah, you do, and you kind of hope for both of these teams, particularly Virginia, who scores multiple goals. The first 8 matches of the year, every single time they score multiple goals, they've not been shut out yet. You got to feel like those chances are going to lead to a goal at some point. And for Clemson, you got to keep the attacks coming, particularly on set pieces and on those deep out-of-bounds throws with Staub leading the way there. Clemson's going to have opportunities if they can play the ball high to get deflections. Had a couple early and then couldn't really create them at the end of the half. Really think both teams, again, they're going to make some adjustments, but I doubt we'll see anything different than what we saw in the first half here in half number 2.
Eddie Radwanski, only 3 subs in the first half, whereas Coach Swanson, 6 subs in that first half. So it'd be interesting to see if Virginia could be a little bit fresher in this second half, especially as you get late into the second half of play.
When we talked about speed, and a lot of speed is freshness too. You know, when players wear down, they are not as quick and they're not as perky on the edge, and we'll call it that, and they're not as able to kind of burst out into these long runs that were so to me, instrumental in creating opportunities for both teams in the first half. And then you see a look at the ACC standings. These two teams really battling it out. A lot of undefeated, one-loss teams. And there you see North Carolina, Florida State, Virginia Tech. Clemson already lost to Florida State. North Carolina, Virginia Tech still on the schedule. So a lot of opportunities for the Tigers to get those quality wins. Virginia having to scratch and claw a little bit up the standings. They're right now in 7th, and that just shows the depth of this league.
Only the top 4 teams will make it into the tournament on the women's side of things. So that's the way that the standings are in the Atlantic Coast Conference. And as you can figure out mathematically, this will be the halfway point for these two clubs at least for Clemson. For Virginia, they still had another game to go. This will be only game number 4 of the 10 conference games that they'll play. But we're almost nearing the half-mile pole in this thing, and you can see the way this is starting to kind of happen in the Atlantic Coast Conference. And you've got a lot of teams that are going to be battling, one, to just get into the tournament, and then two, as you take a look at the NCAAs, the Atlantic Coast Conference is going to be well represented in the NCAAs.
No question about it. You look at the national standings, any way you slice and dice it, the ACC's at the top, and Virginia sitting at 7th in the conference. I mean, think about it. If they drop this one tonight, they'll be 2-2 in a league that's filled with unbeaten, untied, one-loss type of teams. Then you have to scratch and claw that much harder to get back up against a team like Clemson. And when you start losing the tiebreaker to those teams, it becomes to be able to get positioning at conference tournament so important for momentum heading into the NCAAs.
You see Atonda and Record ready to get this second half started to kick this thing off. I'm really not sure what is holding us up. See the officials talking it over there on the sideline. Ed Redwanski, a little snack at halftime. Nothing like a little nourishment midway through a game. He didn't look nervous at all. He looks very, very calm and composed on that sideline right now.
He's playing at home. He's feeling good.
I think I got house money.
He's also got to be excited. We talked about all the missed opportunities. Many of Virginia's came in those first few minutes. Coach Radwanski and Clemson got to feel like they dodged a bullet a little bit. They recovered and played better defensively. Virginia still with chances, but not nearly to the caliber of the chances that they had in those first 10 or 15 minutes or so. We'll see if Virginia can get back to that as they're going left to right here in the second half.
We're waiting on Emily Sonnet as she will get that bandage applied to where she got cut in the first half. But Clemson kicks it off and controls it here in this second half. Emily Byworth backside. We'll feed it there to Samantha Staub, who will just push it back to Sheridan. So this is something we saw a lot of in the first half of play. We're on the backside. Clemson just looking to control, get something organized, and get it moving forward. Claire Wagner, right-footed towards the midfield stripe, up and over the head of Record, and Virginia will control here near midfield. And now Record will step in and take one away, trying a little lead pass over to Sprouse. That was not hit well at all. And we're going to get a whistle and a foul call here at the backside of the go against Record. Record has been physical in this contest.
She's one of the bigger, thicker players here in the midfield, and yeah, that was a little forearm to the face there. A pretty aggressive player in the first few seconds of the first half. Second half, rather.
Who already has been cut and getting banged up there on that play. Virginia will push it down the wing, and a good lead pass here. As Virginia will take it towards the end line. There's a double team here as a centering pass cannot be handled. And Clemson will clear it towards midfield. Settled there by the Cavaliers, though. Push it here on the near side to Megan Cox. Cox will push it backside to McNabb.
We've talked about speed in this game, Don, multiple times. I think Brittany Ratcliffe's the fastest player on the field. She really gets up and goes in a hurry. Right there, she almost made something happen for Virginia, pretty much with her foot speed.
Now look at Tillman Hall. Hear the bells sounding in the background at 8:15 in the evening here in Clemson, South Carolina. Looks like there's a little tiger rag on the bells.
It is.
Playing. Here's a turnover. Virginia with an opportunity outside the 18. Shot deflected. Here's another shot on net. Wagner's got a hand on it. Or Sheridan got a hand on it, but in it goes. And Virginia scores early on here in this second half to take a 1-0 lead. Well, you could tell that turnover coming towards the top of the 18, that was going to be trouble. Sheridan got a hand on it, but just didn't get enough. You see the first shot there that is deflected, but then settled nicely and fired there by Ratcliffe. And Ratcliffe able to score. Here it is from goal cam.
And look what Sheridan does right there. I think she thinks she's a little deeper. She barely got a deflection there, and I think she thought she was okay. Maybe lost her bearings a bit. Another step or two back into the goal, and that ball's popped up over the top. But instead, I think she was a little further out than she planned to be. Nice goal by the Cavaliers.
So 1-0 in favor of Virginia. Oregon looking to cross it, and then it'll be deflected out of bounds off of the Cavaliers. It goes off of Megan Cox. So a corner kick here coming for Clemson.
That's goal number 3, by the way, for Ratcliffe, who's done an exceptional job, as we talked about today, and a nice play there to try to flip things around, get the momentum back. Oregon plays it right off the defender, and Clemson trying to square this score here. Things get a little bit tight for the Tigers because they haven't had many of these opportunities.
Backside, headed around, cleared by the Cavaliers. Gabby Byworth will chase it down, far side. Shoot it right back in. Top of the 18, outside. Wagner fires a shot that deflects off of you-know-who, off of Sonnet. She didn't get pummeled in this game. Wagner, left-footed cross, and out comes Stearns to take it.
Not a bad play, but great anticipation there by Stearns. Following that ball to the wing there. And the cross in, a really nice cross by Wagner. The only one to play it, though, is Stearns. Does an exceptional job of keeping that thing under wraps.
Virginia will control it, shoot it down the sideline. Nobody there. Stop will settle it backside. Sheridan one-times it away. Settled by Abby Jones. Putting Sprouse midfield, shoots it all the way back to Sheridan. Sheridan right foots it forward, but headed right back into the Clemson zone. Here comes Virginia on attack. Once again, it's going to be Ratcliffe. It outside, now into the box, and looking for an offside call and get it.
Offside is called by the Cavaliers.
It's a good idea here by Brandon to kind of shoot it through. Torres just caught offside. Stearns clears it towards midfield. Turner pushing it through the defense, but backside there cleared. Record trying to head it forward, but Abby Jones wasn't reading where that play was going. Good possession of the ball here as they move it around and work it to the far wing, get a chance here to attack. Here's the cross into the box, but nobody there. Shot towards midfield. Sonnet will feed it off to Brandon. Brandon will shoot it here near side to Cox. Cox and Brandon, a little game of give and take. It goes off of Oregon out of bounds to Clemson. It's a quick throw in.
Up! What's wide, Jenna?
Hey, Sam!
McNabb will shoot it off the far wing. Shoot it into the box. Loose trying to turn it. Send it off to the wing. And be chased down there by Cox. Cox able to push it by the defense.
Up! Get out!
Chip it forward, looking for a breaking Megan Cox, but that'll go over the inline. And we'll get a goal kick here for Clemson.
Once again, Virginia very comfortable, Don, playing that sort of wait out the opposition game, work the ball around, try to get a couple of chances on the wing, especially with a 1-goal lead now. You're going to see a lot more of that from Virginia, lengthy possessions.
Weston able to keep it, push it through, and we're going to get an offside call here against Clemson.
Offside call on the Tigers.
Record got caught a little too far forward.
That's the first offside today for the Tigers, as opposed to 4 for the Cavaliers, and you see a decent idea, but it looked pretty clear right there, even from that angle. It's a little bit in a diagonal angle. Looked like Record was just a bit too far forward.
That ball goes out of bounds here near side, so it'll be a throw-in for Clemson. Get it in quickly. Staub will feed it off to Byorth, right back to Staub. Trying to turn it, keeps it alive. Sprouse touches it back. Here's Atanda with it. Haven't seen too many opportunities for Atanda in this game. Virginia's done a nice job of taking her out. Ball shot forward, but nobody there much too long. Stearns will come up with it. Virginia in their own zone. Push it to midfield. Into the Clemson half. Trying to touch it towards Atanda, but a little too deep. Here's a ball that is out of bounds, so a throw in here for Clemson. Looks like Staub will come back and take this throw in. Take a good look there at Morgan Stearns. A 1-0 lead here for Virginia.
Watch him long end. See him watch that backside. Go, baby!
Over the 47-minute mark. Weston looking for the cross, pushing it into the box. And cleared by Virginia. Nice play there. Staub here at midfield.
That was a really good play by Staub right there to kind of stick her nose in and get a piece of that one. If not, the Cavaliers had numbers pushing forward and had a chance to counter very effectively against the Tigers right there.
Staub went for the long lead pass and headed out by the Cavaliers. Sprouse trying to step into it, but Virginia will control. And Cox pushes it backside. And Cox will get it right back. Smith. Cox trying to push it through, able to get it through. Turner, the break. Pulls it out, puts it across the middle, deflected by Clemson. That'll go over the end line and out of bounds off of Clemson. This will be a corner here for Virginia. Well, Clemson dodges a bullet there. They got Sheridan out of position, pushed it in front of the net, and nobody there.
Once again, just not a great angle there by Sheridan, putting some pressure on the defense there. Nobody really there for the Cavaliers, and fortunately, if you're a Clemson fan right now, you got to be counting your blessings once again that nobody from Virginia banged that one home.
Schaffer sends it in and it's headed out. And that'll be a Virginia throw in. So look for a long throw in here from the Cavaliers.
Big throw here! Hey! 11!
Megan Cox there to take it.
Go down. Away!
Ball headed forward. Over comes Sheridan. Here's a shot on the opposite side. It's pushed up and over the net. Torres had a little bit of a difficult angle there. See the header again Comes off of the hand of Sheridan. Torres could not left foot that in.
A little bit of poor communication on the back right there. Looked like 3 Tigers in the same general area going for that ball, and a couple of them down or off balance. Once again, Clemson fortunate not to give up a goal. That's been kind of a recurring theme tonight, particularly early in both halves.
Oregon can't settle it. Virginia can, although taken away. Everybody trying to push it through. And a trip and a foul called here backside. His bodies collide, and then Horgan comes over in a little bump to Kerner.
Kerner really with no give on this. Here you see. But coming hard is Emily Byorth, and
actually it was the push off against Megan Cox.
Yeah, it was. Boy, I did not see that play that way. That's an interesting angle right there.
Now Cox is down. And I don't know that Horgan maybe gave her a little bit of the business that went unnoticed, to be honest with you.
So they're going to confer on this. I did not see it.
I didn't see it either. I was watching back up here where they were spotting the ball for the kick. I don't think that either official saw it. Let's take a wide look at this and see what we can pick up. And so here's Horgan. She's walking by and gave her a little shot, it looked like. That was a wide angle, but it looked like she did give her a little shot. Got away with it. Little wry smile on her face there. She's being talked to by our head official, Carmen Serbio.
I don't want to assume anything, but soccer players have never flopped before, have they?
Stop. Into the box. Ball headed away. Pushed back in. Honda trying to send it through, and that ball will be deflected out of bounds, and we'll get a corner kick here coming for Clemson.
Clemson court to be taken by Claire Wagner.
See Tonda trying to hit that left foot. Just deflected out of bounds off of the Cavaliers. So Wagner will come and take the corner. Ball will be headed out. Chased down by Virginia. Byorth read that well. Stepped in the middle of that, trying to push it to Horgan. Sent to the sideline, but here's Clemson with it. Tonda pushing it far side to Emily Byorth. Wagner trying to chip it in. Weston with the header, but pushes it wide to the right side and chased down there by Stearns. Taylor Weston was trying to redirect that over in the general direction of where Record was, but Record not breaking on it. Morgan able to touch that three. Weston touches it back to Latonda. Abby Jones battling for it, comes up with it. Horgan, Weston, right back to Horgan on the wing with a wall pass. Horgan though defended well, and that'll be a tripping call here. That will go against Virginia. And we may get a yellow card here issued. Nope. Yes, we are. Thought for a second he wasn't going to pull it, but Megan Cox issued a yellow.
Let's see if she goes in maliciously here. Maybe she went around from behind. I don't know. We've seen a lot of contact in this match here tonight that wasn't carded. It looked a little more malicious than that. I'm sure that they said maybe it was a blind sliding tackle or something to that effect, but nonetheless, a great opportunity here for Clemson.
Wagner shoots it in low. Bending ball comes back out to Wagner. Again, she'll shoot it back in the box. Cavaliers will clear that out. The ball be off of Gabby Byorth. All right, so our goal kick here forthcoming for Virginia. Here's your top 10 right now in the country. See North Carolina, Florida State, Virginia, 1, 2, 3, all teams out of the ACC. And you drop down to where Clemson is at number 7, Virginia Tech at number 9, so 5 of the top 9. South Carolina at number 10. Their only loss been to number 7 Clemson earlier on this season. And we're going to show you the RPI a little bit later. You'll get to see a little bit of the difference between the human factor and the computer factor once we go to RPI as opposed to the national top 10 as voted upon.
You know, I'm a people person, Don, but I do love computers, though. Gotta love math, algorithms, yum.
I've never heard anybody say yum about algorithms.
Nerd status.
Cross deflected out of bounds, and Record will have to throw it in. Byorth shoots it in deep. Tapped away. Settle Tonka trying to fire a shot, but lifting it high.
Right there, Don, you might see a little bit of impatience there from Matan. It was an opportunity, but we talked about how she really has not gotten an opportunity to get going here tonight. There you see the ball batted down. She doesn't have a great chance to square this ball and just gets underneath it. But you're right when you say that Virginia has done a great job of keeping her under wraps so far. That's her 3rd shot of this game, and none of them have been particularly close.
Mary Jones, midfield, touches it off to Wagner. Weston checked from behind. Again, chipped back forward. Atonda with a loose ball. Can't catch up to it, though. And it'll be cleared to the near sideline and out of bounds. And we got a man down for Clemson. Weston having a tough time standing up. And they'll come out and attend to Jenna Weston. We'll watch this here. See if it like her. She got rolled up upon a little bit from behind and get up and walk it off. Looks like she'll. I was going to say there's going to be no worse for wear, but I'm not so sure about that.
This is tough, and given the speed element that's present in this game, you wonder if Eddie Radwanski will go to his bench at some point here in the very near future if she can't give it a full go on that gimpy leg. Looks like she's going to try to jog it off.
Throw in by Staub. Headed out. We'll clear it here to the near side. It'll go out of bounds in front of the Clemson bench. Another throw in for Clemson. Staub will get it in down the sideline. Byorth let it go by her. Wagner will touch it backside. This is Gabby Byorth. The 2 Byorth twins, Emily and Gabby. Part of the backside defense for Clemson. Sheridan in the direction of Morgan, able to hit it forward. Chased down, though, by Virginia. They'll want to go out of bounds, and they'll throw it in backside. 26.5 minutes left here in regulation. 1-0 Virginia. The goal at the 47-minute mark by Brittany Ratcliffe. Giving them a 1-0 lead. It's been a very entertaining match. Throw in here for Clemson. Staub, the wrong throw in. Jones. Good back to Sprouse. Trying to chip it forward, looking for Weston. Headed out. Here's Horgan. Horgan looking for the cross. There it is. But a nice play by Stearns coming out, smothering that ball.
That was a super play by Stearns. Great instinctive play. She got a great angle on this. This is a tight cross in. Almost found the head there of the Tigers'
Record.
looks like record there, right there in front of her. Able to keep concentration. That's a heck of a play by Morgan Stearns.
And they're finally settled by the Cavaliers. Torres sits it into the box. Wagner cuts that off.
Up! Mark up!
Reed pushing it backside.
Emily with the line, Em!
And that chips it forward. Headed out. Tonda looks to settle. Push it forward to Abby Jones. Jones gets it by the defense. Got record off to her right, but didn't feed it to her. Tonda looks for the push through. Wanted Weston clear to the sideline as the goalie Stearns was coming down. That'll go out of bounds and on the throw in far side here for Clemson.
Pretty good push right there by the Tigers. Tonda just trying to leave it there, as you mentioned, for Weston. Just couldn't quite find her. And that's the speed of Virginia, once again, creating angles that are different in real time from what you think they should be in theory.
Ball headed by Virginia out of bounds. So we've got a corner kick here coming for Clemson in the far corner. So a set piece here as Horgan will go over the table.
To be taken by Shannon Horgan.
Tina, you're happy you got it. Tina, that's going to be yours and you do the serve.
Horgan will bend it in. Ball is going to be headed out of bounds off of Clemson. I believe that was Emily Byorth that had it. We showed you the standings earlier. William, here's the RPI. You can see a little different from the human element.
And no question, Clemson up at 4. You'll see Virginia's nowhere to be found in that list, but still the ACC well represented with Florida State and then Clemson at 4. Virginia Tech at 8, North Carolina at 10. A lot of two-loss teams in the top 10 of the RPI. Penn State at number 1, Stanford at number 3, then Rutgers in South Florida. So a lot of shuffling between the human element and then the computer element, as you mentioned. And all of that going to be taken into account when you talk about NCAA tournament seeding and things like that.
Honda, leave it off from the wing to Horgan. Horgan will cross it in the box. That ball will be touched off from Virginia, and that corner kick here coming for Clemson. So be in the near corner. Wagner will come down and handle the kick. And I like this play by Horgan. Didn't look to settle it. Realized that she had the open opportunity. Went ahead and fired that centering pass across.
The Cavaliers a little disappointing there with that effort. The ball wasn't that dangerous. Should have been able to corral it and clear it.
Up and over. Chase down backside. Record will get to it. Send it out front. Horgan trying to time it. Ball headed up. Still just bounding around inside the 18 and finally cleared by Virginia. That ball spent a little too much time in the air inside that Virginia penalty box. Byorth able to chip it back forward. Akonda, Weston, Jones trying to set the right foot, fires a shot, deflected up and over by Stearns. And she's able to make that play, whereas Sheridan couldn't make that play earlier on and allowed the goal.
This is a super play by Jones. See a little half touch to the side to create the angle. And then once again, great patience by Stearns. She times it perfectly. See where she is in relation to the goal. A little bit closer, maybe about a step or a step and a half than we saw earlier from Sheridan.
Low bender that is headed out by the Cavaliers. Oregon will chase it down. Watch it go out of bounds far side. And they're going to say that's off for Clemson, so this will be a throw in for Virginia. Well, the difference also, Stearns got 2 hands on it, whereas Sheridan only got the 1 hand on it.
That's exactly right. They actually called a foul right there. They called a foul on Horgan, yeah.
Okay. Virginia with a redirect. Look for some speed. Use it there. Send it towards the top of the 18, but Sprouse there to cut that off. Jones can't control it. She let herself a little too much forward. Virginia controls in the Clemson zone. Sinet featured the goal scorer Radcliffe, and then Radcliffe to Brandon. 20 minutes left in regulation. 1-0 Virginia leading it.
Virginia playing a little keep away right now. Clemson, not enough bodies up forward to really force the Cavaliers in anything.
Trying to push it through, but redirected back out by Rickard, but Virginia will still control. Good long possession here by the Cavaliers.
Now it's a little cat and mouse game here, Don, because if you're Clemson, you don't want to give up a goal trying to be super aggressive, but at the same time, Virginia's just going to pass it back and forth here if you allow them to do so. So Eddie Rawanski going to kind of have to pick his poison and hope he doesn't get burned.
And there's an offside call. Flag came up. Radcliffe caught. Go back and see if we can pick up where that foul happened, where see Horgan just pushing off. Although it looked like the ball had actually already gone out of bounds after the fact, but they called the foul there on Horgan. Horgan been a little bit of the villain, to be perfectly honest with you, here tonight for Clemson.
She and Rickard have really been mixing it up a great deal in the midfield.
Sprouse able to carry one through the defense, looks for the push through, but behind Rickard. Morgan, check from behind. Here comes Byorth as Morgan Ruther, the junior from Chantilly, Virginia, checks in. And she's able to carry it forward. Push it down to the corner, and that ball will actually go out of bounds. I say off of Virginia. I think that went off of Clemson. Take a look at the replay here. No, I guess it went off that back heel, didn't it?
Good call. Official right on it there in the corner. Excellent job.
Goal kick in the air, won by Virginia. They control. Shooter to the far wing. Nice little cut back to the top of the 18. Leave it there. Turn and a shot fired on frame, but Sheridan up to that task. $17:20 left in regulation. Morgan comes up with the header. Pushes it off on the wing. Weston looking for the cross. Line of time in the box. Sakonda goes down. No call. Really no foul there. Clear to the sideline, and Staub will chase that down. Push it back to Sheridan. She'll one-time it away. And then it'll go out of bounds here in front of the Clemson bench on the near sideline. You see Weston here trying to push it over towards Atanda.
Tough angle for Atanda. Virtually no way she could get that ball toward the keeper. Goes down just trying to draw the foul call in the box right there. Really not very much contact on that shot, but Atanda has been under wraps pretty much from the get-go here. 3 shots on record for the Tigers' leading goal scorer. That's part of the reason why this game's 1-0, because the Tigers' primary goal scorer has been held virtually with no opportunities to change the scoreboard at all.
Schaffer pushes it far side. 16 minutes left. Virginia possesses it, up 1-0. And there's a ball that is pushed over the inline. That will go off the foot of Wagner of Clemson and become a corner kick in the far corner here for Virginia. So a set piece here for the Cavaliers. Already up 1-0. Getting late.
Every time. Coming, Paige. Yes, Paige. Mark out. Stay closer, Paige.
conversation going on
Here we go, guys.
between
First two.
Keelan Sheridan and her defense backside. Sheridan talking to her defense to get up, Sheridan, and move forward to the top of the 18, maybe catch somebody offside. You would attack that top of the box, push it far side. Record puts a foot in there, knocked it away for a sec. Virginia keeps control of it, pushes it to the wing. Good feed there. Record went for the slide tackle, came up empty, ball deflected away on the cross. And Clemson will clear towards midfield, but there's Virginia to settle it. Sonnet. Long run into the 18, deep into the 18. Cleared those back out on the wing. Cross. And out. Good push to the far wing. Opportunity here. Here's a cross into the box. Deflected out. Ball in. And we're going to get a foul call here that will go against Virginia. A push off out front, I believe, against Lasco.
It's a really fortunate play there for Clemson and kind of a reckless play, I guess, maybe to get the shot. Lasco, you like to see her being aggressive, but Clemson, the way they were trying to gain possession that time, really wasn't going to work at all.
And a pushing foul against Weston.
Now Virginia's going to have the ball, and they're going to be able to methodically take it into the attacking third, just like they've been doing. Going to be conservative there, just a little nudge. Jump selling the contact. Weston called for the foul, and the Cavaliers once again in control of the flow of this game, really for the last few minutes.
Wagner gets her head on it, but Virginia will still control. Looking to push it here to the near wing, and over comes by Orth. Coming by Orth to knock that ball out of bounds. Subs coming in. Upcoming schedules. First of all, for Virginia, still 2 more road games they have to go. At Wake Forest, at Boston College, before returning home for a couple. You see the number 2 showdown with Florida State there looming on the 25th of October. And for Clemson, number 9, Virginia Tech here at home. A showdown at number 1, North Carolina, also on the 25th of October. Nothing easy in this Atlantic Coast Conference.
There's no such thing as a cakewalk schedule or breaking the schedule once you get into conference play. You're going to have to bring it every single night, as both these teams have done here in this one.
Well, as Clemson found out last year, they were left out of the 14 ACC conference tournament. They tied for 4th, but the tiebreaker left them out of tournament action in the Atlantic Coast Conference. And then they got knocked out in the first round of the NCAA tournament by the rivals, South Carolina and Columbia. I believe on penalty kicks, right? On penalty kicks.
Down under 12 minutes to play here, Don, and Clemson really going to have to start maximizing his chances. We've seen Virginia hold the ball for 2-3 minutes at a time. That means Clemson's going to have very few opportunities remaining in this one.
Wagner trying to push it in deep, but can't. That goes off of her out of bounds, and a throw in backside here for Virginia. Take a look there at Megan Reed. You see that ball. Reed did a nice job just deflecting that off of Wagner and out of bounds. Here's a ball that is left towards Abby Jones. Defended well. Sprouse able to come up with it. Push it off to Jones. Jones in the 18. Pushes it backside. Gabby by Orth. Picked up defensively. Leaves it. Back to Sprouse. Defense coming from behind on Sprouse. Able to step through that. Trying to push it through. Looking for Weston. No. Weston just doesn't have that quick speed.
And Virginia does.
Yep.
Virginia defensively right there. 2 plays that Clemson probably could have made against a lot of its other opponents on the schedule. Could not make there. The ball that was about to go in, it was played back to the middle instead of a cross because of the speed, the recovery speed of the Cavaliers. They had to play it back. And then that ball to Weston just could not be converted because of the speed of Virginia's defense, the way they closed down angles in a hurry.
Jones can't carry it through the defense, but able to touch it off. Trying to push it far side to Tina Shakes and goes out of bounds. And a throw in for Virginia. 10:20 left here in regulation. Sub coming in for the Cavaliers. They'll get Megan Cox back into the lineup. She'll check in for Megan Reed. Throw in far side. The ball will be deflected out of bounds. It'll go off of Virginia. Throw in for Clemson. North sideline. Headed by Weston to the middle of the field, but nobody there. Virginia will possess it. We drop under 10 to go. 9:50 and counting. The goal at the 47-minute mark by Brittany Radcliffe, our only scoring here. There's a whistle. Offside call against Virginia. They're doing the wise thing, just clear it back into the Clemson zone. Clear it forward. Jones settles it. Pushes it middle of the field. Weston. Atanda. Get off to Abby Jones and then try to give her the wall pass back, but that was defended well. And Virginia clears it out of bounds far side.
Once again, Megan Cox, a great job closing down the angle. The give and go was available there for a moment. Atanda tried to take advantage, but Cox, again, great start and stop recovery. Able to get a foot on the ball and nix that opportunity for Clemson.
Dobla puts it in. Atanda, top of the box, defended well. Westlake trying to push it through. No.
Keep her!
Movement by Orth. Backside stop, the cross toward the top of the box, headed up in the air. Ball be cleared to the sideline and out of bounds, and we'll get a throw in here by Samantha Staub. 8:20 left. And the homestanding Tigers of Clemson down a goal, 1-0. Ball loose. She shakes, settles, and fires a shot deflected by Virginia. Corner coming.
Couldn't see who got a foot on that. That ball looked like it was heading toward the post as nobody really got it. Shakes on a rebound. Able to get a chance. Maybe couldn't tell who got it.
Honda chips it in. Byworth will touch it back over to Atanda. Back to Byworth, and she'll chip it in from the box. Cannot be redirected on net, and it will be cleared over the end line and out of bounds. And Cavaliers doing what the Cavaliers have to do right now.
It's bend but don't break right now for Virginia. They've done an exceptional job against set pieces all game.
There's Atanda again, the short chip in, headed out. You're going to get a whistle and a foul call here. That'll go against Clemson.
You know, here's how you know, Don, that Virginia's got control of this thing. That was a quick trigger in the corner by Shakes, and then you could see the countenance of Clemson drop like there's a minute or a minute and a half left in this game. There's still 7 minutes. Plenty of time for Clemson to get multiple opportunities at it, but you can sense the amount of urgency. It's elevated even for as late a stage as it is from this Clemson team. They know the way Virginia likes to play, and they know that so far the Cavaliers have been very successful in keeping the ball away from them when they wanted to do so.
And here's possession by the Cavaliers. Peterson chips it in. Ball redirected and in. Got it up and over Sheridan. And it's 2-0 in favor of Virginia, and that could be the nail in the coffin right there.
There's so much for playing keep away.
Yep.
That was a quick strike for the Cavaliers, no question.
You're going to watch the good cross in. And then the header up and over. Just got it up and over top of Sheridan by Morgan Ruther. And 2-0 in favor of the Cavaliers. And here's a tripping call here. It'll go against Virginia. Brittany Radcliffe did not like that call at all. Argues a little bit with the official. You see the official maybe reaching for a card instead. Now we'll issue the yellow card.
I think this play probably warranted a foul. It probably warranted a card in real time because of the way Byorth reacted. She absolutely went flying, and right now we got bodies flying everywhere over there. Man, this thing is good. We talked about it getting a little chippy. Right now you're seeing some frustration from Clemson, some pushing and shoving in a big way going on.
Well, I think particularly after that second goal. Now you're in a deep, deep hole.
Jones and Peterson got tangled up, and I was like watching go at it in the octagon.
Hold up!
Roller derby broke out.
Yes.
He's gonna send it.
That's a great retro reference, Don. Well played.
You know me. I am Mr. Retro. Staub shoots it in, and that'll sail over everybody's head. So a goal kick coming here for Virginia, where the Cavaliers now in firm control of this game. Up 2-0. Stearns will left foot it out. Ball be pushed in the Clemson zone off the far sideline out of bounds, and a throw in, and a quick throw in by Gabby Byorth. She got it to Jones, trying to redirect it over to Shakes, but out of bounds. So a throw in here for Virginia. And the Cavaliers now, every time that they can get the ball in their zone, they're just going to clear it to the Clemson zone. They Clemson go the distance. Here's a Tonga trying to push it through, looking for Westlake. Well played. Virginia would just clear it in out of bounds, sideline into the Clemson bench area. Emily Byorth with the throw in. Headed back out of bounds by Virginia. Now here comes Staub to take the throw in. In the direction of Weston, but headed out by the Cavaliers, and then shot into the Clemson zone.
Well, the more I've watched Virginia play defensively, I don't know how in the world anybody can get any goals during live action against this team.
Here's a long pass from Sheridan, but Stearns on the hop takes it in front of the cutting Abby Jones.
I guess you could do it like that, send the ball all the way down and let somebody run underneath it. Almost worked for Clemson right there. Abby Jones got behind the defense.
I thought maybe she was going to leave her feet a little bit, just try to touch that by Stearns and redirect it, but didn't. Stearns will left foot that out at the 4:15 mark. Another throw in here on this near sideline for Clemson. As desperation now begins to pick up on the part of the homestanding Clemson club.
Come on, turn on! Good job!
Look there at Samantha Staub, the long throw in into the box. Headed around, loose out front of the 6, but that'll be cleared by Virginia. And look at where Sheridan is now playing in the Cavalier half as she puts it towards net. Stern by the post. Knocked it away, and then it goes off of the Cavalier player. We're going to get a corner here.
I'm not sure Stearns really saved anything right there. I think that ball was going out of bounds. And
I think she just wanted to be sure.
yeah. Break for Clemson there.
Chips it into the box, but nobody there for Clemson. Everybody was having to come back at her because the backside defense was pulling up. Here, once again, here's this look at Sheridan from behind. William, this was a good look at it. Oh, yeah, ball was well off the post. Just wanted to make sure, though. Under 3 to go. 2:50 and counting as Virginia pushes it deep into the Clemson zone. Westlake looking to settle it. Can't control. Radcliffe scored the first goal tonight, trying to carry it through the Clemson defense can't. Here's a Tonda with it near sideline, and that ball went out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Virginia in front of their own bench with 2.5 left. And a sub will check in. Megan Reed will come in. Stop the clock with 2:29 showing.
Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up!
Tonda, near side, trying to push it through off of the Cavalier defense. Quick throw in here for Clemson. 2:10 mark. Trying to center it through. Backside the fence there to figure that out. Giordano got a foot on it. Giordano will chase it down far side. Cavs will just push it towards midfield. Wagner pushes it all the way back to Sheridan. Sprouse trying to chip it through. That'll be too long. And with 1:35, Stearns finally will pick it up. 90 seconds left. Virginia's going to win this one here tonight. This will be a good road victory for the Cavaliers. Moving to 3-1 inside the conference will drop Clemson to 3-2 inside the Atlantic Coast Conference. Both these teams, though, have NCAA resumes, but this is a huge win on the road here for Clemson, for Virginia, staying inside that top 4.
No question about it, and this is really not a case of Clemson playing poorly and allowing Virginia to win. This is two teams playing a high level of collegiate soccer. And Virginia able to take advantage of opportunities. Thought Clemson had some weaker moments throughout the match. Virginia didn't play a perfect match by any stretch, but the Cavaliers, probably for the last 30 or so minutes, really seemed to have a stranglehold on the game to the point that they forced Clemson into playing their style and ended up getting 2 goals because of it.
30 seconds left. Cavaliers controlling the ball. Push it to midfield. And Byorth collides. We are going to need assistance. And I think that as Gabby Byorth was flying for it, you could hear the scream coming in the mics, from our field mics.
It was rough because as they both were going for the ball, Byorth kept running, and all I saw was a stop and then kind of almost like a tree falling in the forest. I mean, that was kind of scary.
Well, you could hear the scream coming into from our field mics. They stopped the clock with just 19 seconds left. They haven't picked up a number, picked up anything, and now standing up, it was obviously Veronica Latsko that went down. I think she must have taken a shot to the stomach. Let's see what we can see here. You really can't see what happened there. I think that just says Byorth was turning to go. Probably she threw that off arm and it caught Latsko right in the stomach area.
And you can see her breathing really heavily right now. I got the wind knocked out. Either she got hit maybe in the windpipe or, as you said, in the stomach. And it's nice to see that. I know she doesn't feel that way, but the way she fell down, you feel like it could have been a lot worse.
And just the scream that you could hear coming off the field mic. We're going to get a yellow card that'll be issued here to Gabby Byorth. And Virginia will have it on the kick with just 19 seconds left. Credit the Cavaliers with the way they have played here in this second half. Leading it 2-0. Sprouse with 14 seconds left. Chips it towards Westlake. Westlake trying to turn it. Good sliding tackle there.
5, 4.
You can hear the countdown in the background. And Virginia comes on the road And a big win. You see the two head coaches, Steve Swanson, Eder Edwanski, shaking hands there. And the Cavaliers, a big road victory for them inside the Atlantic Coast Conference as they come to historic Riggs Field and take care of business here tonight. Well, a physical game here that we saw tonight. William, scoreless first half. A couple of shots off the post in that first half by Virginia, but credit them in the second half. They got it taken care of and done.
Virginia early in this match created almost all the chances. They created the vast majority of the chances in the second half. Clemson got caught up in playing Virginia's game, and it cost them. The Cavaliers with a very impressive resume-building win here on the road against a top 10 opponent.
So the Cavaliers win it here in Clemson, South Carolina, 2-0. You've been watching the worldwide leader in sports, ESPN.